Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. You guys know how much I love a good chat about how to live a more fulfilling life, and today we're venturing into some really fascinating territory, all thanks to your furry, scaly, and feathered friends at home.
That's right, we're going beyond your pet's cuteness to uncover how these amazing creatures we share our lives with actually help us unlock a more connected life.
Get this, it's all thanks to these two insightful articles we came across, both by Tayler, who you might know as a leading voice in the world of, the human-animal bond. She dives deep into how everyday moments with our pets are actually jam-packed with opportunities for personal growth.
Christine's work is all about going beyond just, the surface level. It's easy to see how much joy pets bring us, but she digs into the science of how these relationships impact us in ways we might not even realize.
So true. Her first article, How My Pet Led Me to Deeper Connections, starts with this idea of pets as social magnets.
Uh-huh.
And honestly, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, she's totally onto something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're like these walking, barking, meowing conversation starters.
Exactly. They break down those social barriers we often put up without even realizing it.
Right. It's like having this instant icebreaker, this common ground with anyone who also loves those furry, feathery, or scaled companions. And it's not just me who's noticed. Christine, in her article, she shares this story. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so she's walking her dog, right? Completely stressed about work.
Been there.
And her pup, totally out of the blue, drags her over to say hi to another dog owner.
Oh, I love that.
And guess what? They end up having this, genuine conversation.
It's amazing how often that happens. But it's not just chance encounters. Our brains are actually wired to respond to animals in a way that promotes connection. When we interact with them, even something as simple as watching fish swim, it triggers the release of dopamine and serotonin.
Wait, hold on. Dopamine, serotonin, those are those, feel-good chemicals, right?
Exactly. They're like happiness juice for our brains.
Yeah.
And when we're happier, we're naturally more open to connecting with others.
Okay, so happiness juice. Sign me up. But seriously, it makes so much sense. Even just thinking about, my cat's goofy antics makes me smile. You know what they say, laughter is the best medicine.
And our pets are pros at getting us to giggle. But here's the thing. While we're getting our daily dose of laughter, our stress hormone, cortisol, takes a nosedive. So not only are we, more likely to strike up conversations because we're feeling good, but we're also more relaxed and approachable, which makes connecting that much easier.
It's like our pets are giving us a crash course in being more social, and we didn't even have to sign up for the class.
Exactly. They're like these little furry professors of connection.
I love that. But okay, so Christine takes this even further, right? She doesn't just stop at those chance encounters. She's all about being proactive, intentionally putting ourselves out there in the, pet-loving universe.
Absolutely. And it makes sense, right? If you want to meet people who share your love for, all creatures great and small, where better to do it than at, a dog park, a pet adoption event, or even just that pet supply store down the street. She even talks about joining online groups for people obsessed with specific breeds.
That's dedication.
It is. But you know what? It works. It all comes back to finding those shared interests, those small acts of kindness that we often share with other pet lovers, and how those things can blossom into something truly meaningful.
We're talking genuine friendships here.
Yes. Valuable connections even.
Wait, hold up. Does this include inventing the next self-scooping litter box at a pet play date? Because I'm here for it.
Haha, maybe. But seriously, surrounding yourself with people who get that deep bond you have with your animal, it creates this incredible sense of belonging. It's powerful stuff, both personally and professionally. And Christine talks about how that can lead to amazing opportunities.
Oh, tell me you have a story about this.
Well, I don't know about inventing a self-scooping litter box, but...
Bummer. But keep going.
It's more about finding your tribe, People who get you, who understand that deep connection you have with your animals, and that, in turn, can lead to all sorts of amazing things.
Totally. Remember that time at the dog park when I met that graphic designer? My dog sniffed out a business connection. It's amazing how those things happen.
It's like they have a sixth sense for these things.
Right. But it's not just about, networking and building your empire. Christine also dives into how these connections impact our well-being on a much, deeper level.
This is where it gets really interesting. We talked about those happy hormones earlier, but the impact of pets on our mental and emotional health goes way beyond just a quick mood boost.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Spill the scientific tea. What's the deal with pets in our minds? Okay, so we left off talking about pets and mental health, and honestly, I am here for it. I want all the deets.
Well, you know how it is. Like, you're having one of those days, right? Deadlines, to-do lists, just ugh. And you're like one email away from completely losing it.
Oh, tell me about it. Been there way too many times this week.
And then you look over and you see your cat doing something completely ridiculous, like batting at a dust bunny. Like, it's like the most fascinating thing in the world.
Okay, see, now I'm already feeling calmer just picturing that. Why is that? What's the science behind that magic?
It's like our brains just get this much-needed break from all the worry and stress. It's a mental reset button. And Christine, she talks about how pets, they're like these masters of mindfulness. They remind us to appreciate those little moments.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. My dog could literally sniff a single blade of grass for an hour. And like, he's completely content doing it. What's his secret?
Exactly. They're not hung up on like the past or stressing about the future. They're just present, living in the moment. And Christine, she points out how when we allow ourselves to kind of join them in that headspace, even if it's just for a few minutes, it does wonders for us.
It's like they're giving us these free mindfulness masterclasses. Sign me up. No chanting required. I'm here for it.
Right. And it goes even deeper than that. Even the simple act of caring for a pet, feeding them, grooming them, making sure they're happy and healthy. Christine says all of those little things, they actually cultivate some pretty amazing qualities in us.
Oh, absolutely. Patience, for one.
Yeah.
Teaching a puppy a new trick, talk about a test of patience. I'm like one treat away from losing my mind.
Right. But it's in those moments, those like challenging, sometimes frustrating moments that Christine says we learn so much. We learn to adapt, to problem solve, to keep going, even when things get tough.
So basically our pets are secretly training us to be more resilient. I knew it.
Exactly. It's like they're our own personal life coaches pushing us to be better versions of ourselves, and it spills over into everything. Work, relationships, you name it.
So we're learning from their adorable little furry faces every day. But Christine also talks about how pets help us tap into our own emotions, right? They make us more empathetic.
Yes. Think about it. Pets, they're masters at reading our moods. Like, they just know when we need a cuddle, a distraction. And Christine, she argues that by responding to their needs, we actually become more aware of our own feelings and emotions.
That is so true. My dog, he can sense a bad day from a mile away. And you know what? Sometimes all it takes is him, like, snuggling up next to me on the couch, and suddenly the world doesn't seem so bad.
It's that unconditional love, that pure acceptance they offer. It's incredibly healing. And Christine, she emphasizes how important it is for us to remember that we're worthy of love, even when we're struggling.
They're like furry little therapists without the copay.
Yeah. Exactly. And speaking of therapy, Christine's second article, How Our Pets Lead Us to a Better Mindset. It's like she read our minds, going even deeper into those mental and emotional benefits we're talking about.
Yes. More science, please. Give me all the details.
She goes all in on the science behind it, reminding us that spending time with our pets, it's not just like a fun thing to do. It's actually regulating our bodies and minds. Remember those happy hormones we talked about?
Hit me with those happy chemicals one more time.
So dopamine, it's like our pets have this direct line to our brain's reward system. Just being around them triggers this release of dopamine, which is all about pleasure, joy, motivation, and of course we can't forget about serotonin, our little mood booster. That one's all about calmness and well-being.
Okay, so it's not just me. Cuddling with my cat really does make me feel like $1,000,000. It's science. I have proof.
It's backed by science for sure, but it's not all about the cuddles and snuggles. Christine also points out how pets bring out our playful side, which, let's be real, is something we often forget as adults.
Oh, 100%.
Remember that example she gives about watching your dog chase its tail and how that simple, silly act can make us laugh?
Oh, yeah.
That's not just adorable, it's actually super powerful.
How so?
Well, laughter releases endorphins, which have mood-boosting and pain-relieving effects, and at the same time, it reduces those pesky stress hormones. So our pets, they're not just making us laugh, they're giving us a mini mental vacation every time we do.
They give us permission to be silly, to embrace our inner child. I love that. But there's also another aspect of pet ownership that Christine talks about that I find really interesting. It can actually push us outside of our comfort zones.
That's a great point. Taking your dog to a new park, introducing them to other dogs, even just like trying a new training technique, all those things require us to step outside our routines, which can feel a little scary sometimes.
Oh my gosh, yes. 1,000%. Like, I remember when I first got my dog, even the thought of taking him to a new park, I was terrified. Like, what if he barks at everyone? What if he doesn't come when I call him? You know, all my deepest insecurities just come out on a leash.
It's true. But those moments, those little what ifs that make us want to hide, those are actually like prime opportunities for growth. Christine, she talks about how facing those fears, even when they make us want to, melt into a puddle, they actually help us build confidence.
And so like by facing those fears with our furry sidekicks by our side, we become more capable in other areas of life too.
Exactly. It's like each park, each new person, each training challenge, it's like this little mini victory. And those little victories, they add up. You start to realize you can handle whatever life throws your way.
It's like our pets are these little whispers of encouragement, like, you got this. Even when we doubt ourselves, they're our biggest cheerleaders.
They believe in us, so we start to believe in ourselves a little bit more too.
I love that.
Yeah.
But, Christine doesn't stop there. She wraps up her article with this really powerful call to action. Like, she doesn't want us to keep all this pet-powered goodness to ourselves.
Oh, absolutely not. Christine, she's all about sharing the love. She wants us to be ambassadors for these amazing creatures, to spread that furry, scaly, feathery joy far and wide.
Yes, I love that. So how do we do that? How do we spread the love? Give me all the ideas.
Yeah. Well, she talks about volunteering at shelters, fostering animals who need a temporary home.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
Even just speaking up for animal welfare in your community, it all makes a difference. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, it creates this ripple effect.
It's like that saying, saving one animal might not change the whole world, but it changes the world for that one animal.
Yeah.
And you never know. Seeing that act of kindness, it might inspire someone else to do the same. And then another person, and then another.
Exactly. It's about paying it forward. Realizing that the love we get from these amazing creatures, it comes with a responsibility to extend that same love and compassion to others.
Beautifully said. So I think we can all agree our pets are way more than just pets, right? They're teachers, therapists, cheerleaders, all wrapped up in these adorable, furry, scaly, feathery packages.
They enrich our lives in ways we never imagined. They challenge us, they comfort us, they make us laugh, and in turn, we have this incredible opportunity to make their lives better. And not just our own pets, but animals all over the world.
So true. The next time you find yourself, marveling at your cat's antics or laughing at your dog's goofy grin or just like feeling that warmth and joy when your pet cuddles up next to you, remember, that's not just cuteness overload, that's pure magic. Embrace it, learn from it, and then share it with the world.
And maybe, just maybe, you'll inspire another deep dive. Until next time.